Hello and welcome to this week's video. Unfortunately this is going to have to be a bit of a jumbled video. I lost the original footage, so I don't have the process I did at the very beginning of this figure. Basically what I'm trying to show in this quick clip that I filmed obviously at the end of the project, I did modify the spider symbols so they are accurate. The front one's accurate, the back one's as close as I could get it without completely cutting the logo off. You can see when the light shines, you can actually still see the lines from where the original logo was, where I took my scalpel and just kind of scraped it off. You'll see how I sculpt all this additional stuff, as well as the paints I use. All of that stuff will be later in the video. I also had some issues with the matte coat or the satin coat that I put on this. I was trying out a new matte coat. I used it on all of the Etsy products, and it dried sticky for some reason. So for any of you that bought my Etsy stuff last week, it was meant to be shipped today. I'm not going to be able to ship it today because I'm having to repaint it all. And I'm going away to the Channel Islands for the weekend. So they'll be shipped on Monday, which is when I get back from the Channel Islands. But yeah, sorry for the week delay. This was the first clip I had, which obviously is not a very useful one. And it's the only clip of him being red and blue. Is seconds before he's dumped in the black soup. So that's the Rit synthetic dye, I think it's graphite. Not boiling water, just kind of a simmer. Left it in there for about half an hour. And that's how it came out. Yeah, so you don't want it to be boiling, you don't want to end up completely ruining the plastic. You can see it also didn't fully sit into the red and blue, so there is hues of it coming through. That's fine, I'm going to be spraying it matte black anyway. There's the custom head, so it's just the heads that I sell on Etsy, but painted black and silver instead. This is Milliput, this is an epoxy clay that I use. I've literally just rolled out little tiny worms, sculpted into place with those sculpting tools. I say sculpting tools, I only use the flathead silicone one. And then this is, again, just the standard black paint that came with my airbrush. And that's him fully airbrushed black. I can see some of the Milliput showing through because I put my thumb on it before it fully dried. But yeah, that's the complete airbrush black. And then I also went and did this dry brush with this grey blue, which actually doesn't show up very much in the end, which is a shame. Because I wanted to get that kind of grey blue hue in there. I used this brush because it's my dry brush really. You can see I got too much in the armpit there. And there's a little bit too much on the crotch area. There is this very faint grey blue, which is what it's like in the movie. If anything, it should be a little bit more of like a grey tone to it. It's still quite black. Maybe at some point I'll go in with another dry brush and kind of hit everything up again. But for those areas that there's too much blue dry brush, I'm just going to go back in with a black dry brush and kind of tone it back in. So that's all I'm doing here, is literally just going back in with that brush. And just trying to tone it back out a little bit. You can see I've got most of the parts now, so it's mostly just black. Now at this point in the video it did actually have more of a blue-grey tone to it, but the camera was only picking up black, it wasn't picking up the other hues in it, which is a shame. And then for whatever reason, when I did the matte coat, it toned the dry brushing down even more and made it more black. Very bizarre, but you know, these things happen. At some point maybe I'll go and touch it up and fix it up a little bit more. So obviously now it's on to the most tedious part, which I spent an entire day doing yesterday, which is doing his web lines. So this is the brand I use for this specific figure, this is the brand I'm using. It is a mix, so in this pot I actually have the aluminium and the black. So there's those two there. This is the clear sealer I used that kind of ruined everything, including obviously all my Etsy products that I mentioned that I'm having to remake now. I put this in my airbrush, which managed to fix it, but it also clogged my airbrush massively. Do not put this paint in your airbrush. It kind of messed it up a bit. But that's it done. This is it with all of the silver on. For the eyes I actually used like a chrome pen and then gave it a semi-gloss coating with like just a brush paint. I will be upgrading this figure. I will be redoing articulation, a new head sculpt, the articulated toes that I make. I don't know why I didn't add them to the figure before painting it all. That was stupid of me. I could have done that. So you can see I've still got standard feet on there, which is mad considering the whole point of my Etsy shop at the moment is selling articulated toes for Spider-Man figures. Didn't even use them on my own figure. But I will do a separate video upgrading all his articulation, more neck articulation, like I said, custom head, the custom feet that I already do. I'm thinking some custom hands, which will mean that when I've got the next section of this custom out, I will have like the alternate hands available in store for at least the Tobey Maguire figure that you guys have been asking for, because obviously the single releases only came with 4 hands. I will be doing like a full set so you can get other hands for them, and hopefully that'll be ready for the next time I do a custom on this specific figure. But anyway, thank you guys so much if you have watched this far. YouTube's kind of been messing me over recently. It's not been recommending my videos to as many people as it normally does, which obviously when I've been putting out 2 videos a week recently, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth. I've been working harder throughout the weeks to get Etsy projects done and video projects done, and YouTube doesn't recommend them to anyone. So yeah, not ideal. If you do have anyone that'd be interested, please do share the video, like, comment, subscribe, all the normal stuff. I don't normally ask for it, but like I said, YouTube is not being kind at the moment, so the support would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in next week's video, which will hopefully be a bit more substantial than this kind of mess jumble thing.